Okay, we've added a little twist here. I decided to kind of trim out my wing a little bit more, so I made a pattern and cut these black stripes here, put on it, and when it goes together, can't hardly see it there, but that's what it'll look like. I don't know, just trim it up a little different. Everybody else's are all red with the white, black stripes on them. So now we've got our wings so far, or whatever you want to call it here, to put them together. Your dihedral goes to the top. We've got them all glued. I sanded the edges a little bit. We want to test fit it, make sure it slides in both pieces the right direction, and it does, good and snug. Now what we want to do is measure it and mark our center line. Okay, so it's 6 and 7/8, so 3. Should be right there. Okay, I just want to get it, you know, pretty close to centered when we put it in here. So that's where it goes. Now let's test fit both pieces. Make sure the wing goes together the way it's supposed to. Try to get you a little better angle here. Always test fit everything. Never ever just glue it, you know, put the glue on it and get ready to put it together. We want a good tight seam, and looky there, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, and what we'll do is over this seam here, we will put, well, I got my stripe on just a tiny bit. I'll put either a piece of red electrical tape, or I could do white or black to trim this out. I may do white right down the middle just to throw it in with the sides here. Let's see what that would, I don't know, that'd look pretty good. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, you know, whatever color, but it'll hide that seam once you get it glued together. Alright, everything goes together nice and level. So our next step is to pull it apart, get ready to mix our glue. Now we want to use 30-minute epoxy on this, and get you some paper towels ready with some alcohol, because you're going to have to do some cleaning on this thing. It's going to squirt out everywhere and you want to get the excess off. So I usually tear off 3 or 4 pieces here and get ready to go. So anyway, we will get our glue mixed up here and get it glued together here in just a second. Okay, we got our glue in our cup. You're going to need a large amount of glue for this, so I always use a Dixie cup. My little mixing pads, they work great for small things. I get these also from the dental clinic where I work. You just tear off the old one and go on. I get tons of those. The girls don't use them for their impressions, so I get them, and it works great. A lot of good advantages to being a dental technician in this hobby. I've even made parts out of the acrylic that we make the dentures out of for my tree stands and everything else, and it's just pretty handy. Alright, mix your glue very thoroughly. You got 30 minutes on this. Actually, you got about 15 working time. Alright, first thing we're going to do is get some glue down inside this hole, all over it. Then be sure you get your dihedral the right direction on this thing, because you ain't getting it back out once it sets. It's done deal. So we'll get glue on all 4 sides of it. We'll just do this one end right now because we're going to stick it in this end, and we'll do the rest of it when we get ready to put the other half on. Just glue it up kind of to your mark. Alright, got the dihedral up. We are going to slide that in there, but so you get a lot of excess coming off of that, which is okay right there because you're going to glue it halves together. But I'm going to get it off so it doesn't run off everywhere on my fingers. I also like to keep one towel here soaked with alcohol. That way if I get any on my hands, I can wipe it off real quick before it gets all over your plane. You got to really watch, because you'll get this on your plane, you won't notice it, and then guess what? Later on you've got glue dried on it and you can't get it off. So Alright, I'm going to set this down here, and whoops, I'm going to use my legs to kind of hold it. We're going to lay some glue all over this, put a little down in this hole, even though we're going to put it on the spar that goes in there. But you want every speck of wood covered. Every inch of it, except I'm not going to go out to that tab because we have to cut a piece to put on that. So, but I'll do that after we get this together. But get it all over it. Every little speck of wood you want shiny with glue. You don't want any raw wood on this thing. This is got to be a very strong joint on this because you're putting a lot of G-force on it. Oops, I'm going to drop it down in there. Okay, I'm getting all over the edges. Now don't worry about getting it out here. You're going to clean that off with alcohol in just a little bit. I want a pretty good helping of glue on here. I don't want it, any gaps. I want it all to fill in and make one solid piece. There we go, dropping it on the floor. Now, get this last little tail here. It's a bad thing, this wing's not square on the end, so it doesn't set up good. Alright, I need to find me somewhere to stand this on its end so that it doesn't fall, and I think that'll stay right there. Now, let's get this half, and we're gonna, same thing, we're gonna coat this half, all of it with glue. Every bit of the wood, keep your wire down out of the way. Go to the edge of this. Whatever squirts out, remember we'll clean it off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this whole flat surface first, and then I'll do this, because I don't want it running all down and pooling on the middle, so we're going to do that piece last. You got to get kind of messy with it. Just put it on there pretty good. And then, like I say, you do not want a weak joint right here. You don't want your wing folding up on you coming out of a real steep dive and jerk back on that elevator and lay the G's to it. So, all right, we got all that covered. All right, now we're going to cover this. We'll cover this thing here on both sides. A lot of it's going to squish out, but that's okay. At least we know all the joints are full of glue. I'm getting messy. I'm getting it all over my table here. 30 minutes seems like a long time, but well, sometimes you'd be surprised how fast this stuff starts setting up. You're tinkering around here, and before you know it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's starting to dry on me. So, alright. Okay, we'll set our glue over there out of the way. Wipe that off the table. Now, we're ready to take the other half, and we will turn it the right direction to match. We will line up our hole, slide that down on there. Now, we're going to have quite a bit of excess glue squish out. Let me get I need to fill my bottle up here. We want to wipe most of that off. This seam here on the bottom of the wing is not real important because it's going to be inside the canopy, or the fuselage, I'm sorry. Okay, now let's check the other side and see what we got. Actually, I need to go ahead and tape this. Okay, let me get my camera up here. I've got some strips of tape already ready over here. I tore off. I use that blue painter's sealer tape is what I like to use on this. Get my covering down there. Oh, come on. Okay. Now, you want this joint to stay tight, so I've already torn off 6 pieces of this. I'll put 3 on each side. Get one side stuck down good, push it all the way across. And this will keep your wing from spreading out. Okay, we'll do another one here in the middle, and it will come off. It may stick a little bit where the glue is, but it'll come loose. Okay, let's pull them back out of the way. I've got some glue here I need to get off. Okay, one more piece. up here toward this end. Put a little pressure on that. Okay, at this point, let me get another paper towel. I go through quite a few paper towels doing this. Like I said, I need to fill my bottle up too. Okay, get that out of there. Now, let's turn it over. And we've got a lot of glue squishing out here, so we want to clean that off really well. Fold that over so you don't get glue from where you wiped somewhere else. I just keep folding it. Now the top part here is going to show. I want to be sure and get it really clean. Get all the glue off of it because it's going to show on top of your airplane. If it's a bottom wing mount, then this part wouldn't matter, but this one mounts on top. So, alright. I think we're about to get him cleaned up here. Okay, we're ready to put some tape on this side, so I'm going to put it on the floor so I can kind of put some pressure on it. Short piece of tape. Stick that one down. Now, that one. Okay, one more in the middle here. I'm missing a piece. I guess I can't count apparently. Could have swore I tore off 6, but apparently it was 5. So anyway, one more in across the middle. Okay, now I want to lay this on the bottom because I don't want the dihedral to change, so I'm going to let it rest evenly on this table, on the servos. And we'll keep that dihedral pushed up here. Make sure our joint is completely even and not pulled apart on us. And then we are going to let this sit here and dry for half an hour without touching it. So we're going to take a break for a little bit and we'll be back. Hey, we have a finished wing. Glue's all set. A little different. I added the black striping here and here, and then over the seam in the middle I put a little white electrical tape. That electrical tape is handy. You can buy packages of it at hardware stores, Walmart. You get several different colors: white, green, red, yellow, blue, and then of course you can get the black. But it works really good. It sticks good on these models, and I've never had any of it come loose. So anyway, there's the top of my wing. It'll be a little bit different than the others at the field. So